So what do you do on a Wednesday in the Smokies when Cades Cove's closed to motor vehicles? Well, one of the things we're going to explore today is the Elkmont Ghost Town. At least that's what they call it. This place started out as a logging company village, and then a guy named Jake, bought it, changed the name of the creek to Jake's Creek, and made this a resort. And that was back in the early 1900s and the 20s. And then when he gave it to the parks, and they haven't been able to maintain a lot of houses, so this is all abandoned. And there's several of the houses that you can't go into, but there's also several of the houses that you can look at and just check things out. So we wanted to do some exploring on this trip, and we decided that if we can get Kim to wake up, we're going to check this place out. There's actually signs in some of the houses that say that the structures are unstable and to keep out.
Okay.
This is making a pretty neat little cabin. It's got its kitchen, it's got a porch, got 2 or 3 bedrooms, got a place for a wood burning stove. Pretty nice. So this log cabin is actually the oldest structure here. I read a story about this. This is one of the original loggers' homes where they would have stayed. It was down on the river, and one of the people that owned one of the houses actually had this moved up here, and they used it for a guest house. So this would be a whole lot smaller. Than the rest of them, but we're just going to take a look. I'm gonna guess before we walk in here that this is 1 room, maybe 2. But let's take a look. What a beautiful fireplace.
We have a fireplace. We have a back door. And that's 2 that are open.
What a beautiful
Old water.
woodwork, log work, how they're hewn.
Old other log.
And then the stonework. How beautiful.
We have 2 cup holders.
So this is the house that belonged, the main house that belonged to the people that owned the log cabin. And we're gonna walk in here and check this out. This is a pretty good size house right here. Man, this is like a huge living area.
Come here. This one's probably the living room.
What a beautiful fireplace, beautiful timbers. I'm gonna say those are some kind of pine. Bedrooms are kind of small. It's a huge meeting room here, living room. Goes into the kitchen. With its own cook, chief cook and bottle washer. And then it goes into, the laundry room.
Smell this.
There's the old water heater. And I'm gonna say that's a service sink.
Okay. The other.
So here's the next house we're going to, simply because I want to see that chimney on the inside. So here's one side of this chimney, one fireplace. Looks like something out of a cabin. I thought there'd be another fireplace on this side, but there's not. It's just the back of the chimney. I was gonna say, that'd be a lot of fireplace to heat this bedroom. So this place isn't near as big as the house we just came from. What do you think, guys?
No.
Asher? Huh?
No.
Not as big?
Has 2 bedrooms.
It's interesting that this room, which I'm assuming maybe is a bedroom, maybe it's an office, but it has a door to the outside.
Door would be open. Now that's an old tub.
Look, this one's the kitchen.
So yeah, so here's the kitchen. And I'm assuming this is the dining table. We're gonna follow Asher.
I'm assuming this would be bad for a grown up. This was probably a kid's bedroom.
You mean cause the roof's so short, so it's probably a kid's bedroom?
Yeah. Now this is more like for grown up.
Okay. A clawfoot bathtub. Wow. Okay. Tell us what you think of that, honey.
That is beautiful. I'd love to have one like that.
Pretty nice living room. It's interesting how all of these, though, the bedrooms are right off. The living room is kind of a central room, and everything is built around it.
This is a step.
I'm gonna guess this may be the bathroom. The first hint, the crescent moon. All the comforts of home. So Kim found something kind of odd about this house. What was it, honey?
No kitchen.
No kitchen. Had a crescent moon door on their bathroom and no kitchen. That's a little strange. Another.
Having a good time.
We are having a good time.
Good.
Hey, I got a question for you. Can I film you?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question. So, so the literature that I read on the internet says that this was kind of shut down in the 30s and 40s.
Shut down?
That it was given to the state park.
Oh, no. In 1910 is when it started.
19.
And 2001 was the last person that left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we saw walk-in showers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So 2001 was when the last person left
yeah,
here.
in that greenhouse. Yep. Cool. So
Okay.
this was the worker campers
We just came out
sites.
of.
They were down in Elkmont, and they moved them up here, except for this guy. And then you had Millionaires Row that's down there, and then Society Hill up here. And those were big money. But they let them go to waste. And
Yeah.
So this is a good size house. This house is a little different because you walk into a small room and then there's 3 doors going straight back. You turn to your right and here's a room. And here's the big room, which someone has blessed us with graffiti. Okay, so we're going to go to the clubhouse, and then that will be the end of our tour. So there's the clubhouse. What's really cool, what the ranger told us was, this road was a railroad track. There weren't any roads and people rode the train up here. And so the train came up, brought the supplies, brought the stuff to build the building, and it was all part of the Townsend Lumber Company. Actually, it's called the Little River Lumber Company, but it was in Townsend. So this is the Appalachian Clubhouse. And this was the central meeting place for everybody in the community. This is where they came, and they had a bar here and a place to play cards, and who knows what other kinds of recreation. Let's check it out. Beautiful porch, partly screened in. Another picture, everyone sitting on the porch. I'm sure there's much more. So you notice this picture, all these people waiting. These are all the workers waiting on materials to build the different houses. People sitting here waiting on supplies, because that train was going to come right up through here, right up through the main, what is now the main street, and give them everything they needed. Wow, what a history lesson. So the trains would come around that curve, up this hill, stop right here, start unloading, and then the track went all the way to the other end. So here we are, walking up what used to be the train tracks to the Elkmont, the Jakes Creek retreat. You can almost hear the bell on the locomotive as it would chug, chug, chug up through here. Pretty cool. So the Elkmont community actually started in the mid-1800s when a group of pioneers, farmers, hunters, decided that they wanted to move into that wilderness. They also became loggers, and they started logging small tracts of land. That logging industry grew into what became the Little River Logging Company, owned by a guy named Townsend. Then in 1907, a group from Knoxville and Townsend purchased the land, and they built a resort here. That lasted until about 1926. One of the people who had been actually given one of the cabins was instrumental in starting the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. He brought a group of senators up for the summer to stay at Elkmont, and he sold them on the idea of starting a national park there. And that's how the Great Smoky Mountains began. The last person to live in the Elkmont community left in 2001. And that's why we saw walk-in showers and newer windows and the like in some of the houses. In sometime during the early 2000s, someone put a YouTube video up that said that Elkmont was a ghost town. That was good and bad because it drew a lot of attention to it, and it also drew the attention of the Friends of the Smokies, who began putting money together to restore the homes. The only thing, and this is my own personal opinion, but they always paint the houses when they restore them. And these houses were actually wood finished. So you kind of lose some of the flavor, I think, of what the village actually looked like. But they are restoring the houses. It's really looking nice, as you saw in the video. If you get a chance, turn left like you're going to Cades Cove. After you pass Sugarland, turn left like you're going to the Elkmont campground. When you get to the campground, follow the road up to the left, and it takes you right to the little village. And it is certainly worth taking a look at. Until next time, you guys have a great day.